I don't want you to tell us anything about the reunion, but is there anything? Is there going to be any surprises or?
There's gonna be some surprises, man. The reunion, the reunion to me, man, is if I had one word to describe it, for me, just being a person who's trying to, play my part in repairing the black community on a small scale, the reunion was hurtful. It was hurtful, hurtful.
Really? What up? What up? What up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with a special guest. I got my main man Dom is in the building. What's good, man?
Man, not too much, man. Mike the Philosopher, man. I appreciate the invite. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, I'm glad. I'm glad you took me up on that, man. And you know, I'm sure you've been watching what I've been doing, man. I've been getting you back, man,
Man, I
on a
appreciate,
lot of stuff.
I appreciate
The real. The real. They say the real recognize the real. You know what I mean?
it. Man, you know what? The real
So
recognize real, the fake recognize real. I do shit. We all know. I appreciate that.
yeah, for real, man. Yeah. So I got a couple questions, man, and we're just gonna, chop it up a little bit. It's good to
Yeah,
see you. Good that you're here.
well,
Uh, Let me ask. First, let's remind people, of your profession, how old you are, things like that.
okay. So I'm 36. I'm an accountant. I own a art business. So I've been an art curator for about 8 years now. So I do
Oh yeah.
international art shows. So I just had one a couple of weeks ago in Mexico, Mexico City. Do them in Nashville, Tennessee, and Dallas, Texas. So that's really what I'm into.
That's interesting, man. How did you get into art?
Man, I didn't know. A lot of times when you grow up around your family, you don't really know how special your family is until you have one of your own, or you're able to go and see how other people's families rock with each other. So my
Mm.
grandfather, he was an artist, all of my uncles, and I didn't really know what impact and that had on me as a child, and I didn't know how unique that was. So from Nashville, Tennessee, and I would go to a lot of art shows and art crawls, and I always felt like they lack representation. And
Mm.
I'm a huge Jadakiss fan, and Jadakiss had a line one time. He said, "Why you never get it popping, but you party to death." And
Wow.
what I took from that is just basically be the change that you want to see. So versus waiting on somebody else to put something together for the black community, I decided to do it myself. And the more and more I traveled, I saw that a black, that was a disconnect in every city between the black artists and the black community. So I'm just trying to bring it together.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. I rock with Jadakiss too, man. It seems
Oh
like
yeah,
we vibe a lot of the same. So that dude got bars for real.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Let me ask you this. So were you born in Texas, or you come from someplace else? Or you born and raised in Texas, or what?
Originally from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I took a role at an oil and gas company in Dallas in September of 2022. So that
Mm.
was the reason I moved to Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they make pretty good money too.
Oh,
Them
for sure.
old dudes. Yeah, them old dudes, man.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
they throw money away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What one thing I noticed too, man, is I don't know what it is, but it seemed like a lot of people in Texas is in tech. You
Mm,
notice that?
yeah.
I think Maya's in tech.
Mm,
I think Leyland was in tech. Even last season with I think who was it? Was it Janelle
Aries.
that was Aries that
Yeah.
was in tech?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aries was in tech, and I'm like, man, all these people in Texas getting
Yeah.
all this tech money, man. That's pretty dope, though.
Super dope.
Um,
Super dope.
yeah, 'cause I don't know if they got some kind of program there or whatever, but a lot of blacks is getting in this tech real tough there.
Yeah, man. One thing that happened is during the pandemic, just even before the pandemic, most people leaving California are coming to Texas.
Okay.
So you got a lot of companies. You got Tesla. You got Oracle. A lot of companies have came to either Austin or Dallas and set up shop. So a lot of opportunity in Dallas.
Yeah, 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 I noticed that, man. But that's a beautiful thing to see. People getting their money. I think LaRon is in tech too, don't he?
Mhm.
Don't he do some engineering or whatever? I mean, some software stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope to see all them people in tech. It was just something I noticed.
Oh yeah.
Um, how did you get on the show, man? Did they reach out to you, or you reached out to them? You auditioned? What happened?
So long story short, I've been on this dating app called Hinge, and so when I got the job offer, I decided to move my Hinge location to Dallas to kind of see kind of competition or see what the dating pool looked like, down in Dallas.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
um, some beautiful women in Dallas.
Mm,
Dallas kind of slept on, it's because it's so close to Houston. So a lot of people try to compare the two,
mm-hmm.
So I decided to move down. 3 months into me living here, I'm still on this dating app. So
Mm-hmm.
I matched with this chick who says she lives in LA, but she's in Dallas. Slim chick, generally not my type, but really pretty.
Mm,
We match. I sent her a message like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she respond, "I'm good. What's your phone number?" And I'm like, "Damn."
mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Shit,
Pretty
normally
forward.
cute chicks really ain't this easy, but shit, I don't really think that she can get anything from my phone number."
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
gave it to her, and 3 days later, I got a call from an LA number, and it was Ready to Love casting. So they catfished me.
What?
Yeah, I got catfished.
Wow. So she was like a producer, like a download producer or something, and got your number to try to put you in, or what?
I think that was a fake picture. I don't even think I talked to the person who profile it was, and it just reminded me, man. People got to really be careful on these apps because you don't really know what you're getting yourself into. Uh,
Facts,
but,
man.
um, but yeah, man. Yeah, it was actually one of the casting people, and I talked about. I thought it was fake, so I had to vet it out, and it happened to be the
Mm-hmm.
real thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Uh, um, that's kind of that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Have you watched the show before though? Were you familiar with the show or what?
My mother and my sister watched, I think, the first 5 or 6 seasons.
Mm,
Prior to when we recorded, I didn't watch. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the show, and common sense will tell you to kind of watch it to
mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
know what you're getting yourself into. But for me, I was afraid to watch it, because I knew if I watched
Wow.
it, it would discourage me from wanting to do it. And I felt like this was an opportunity. As random as this opportunity came, I felt like it was meant for me to be on it, and I didn't want to see anything on the show that was going to make me not want to do it. So I didn't
Mm.
watch it. So I was very very careful about that.
Oh, okay. 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 Trying to just not skew your opinions about it before you got on, huh?
Man, I
Okay.
looked up. I looked up one clip on YouTube, and I think it was from the Miami season, and there was a lady Morgan, and
Mm-hmm.
she was sitting down at a date with a guy. She was being mean to him, and I had to stop watching because I'm like, man, I don't want to experience. My biggest fear was getting a margarita thrown in my face.
Oh my
Yeah, I'm
goodness.
like,
Yeah.
nah.
I covered that season too, man, with Morgan. Uh I don't know, man. I can't really speak on it too much, but
Yeah,
that might they had some nice looking women. Don't get me wrong, but
uh-huh.
Morgan was a handful, man. So that was not a good representative of
Yeah.
what RTL was,
So
because that was a crazy season.
we started shooting May 7th. We finished in June. Then the first season of Dallas aired in July. So I
Mm,
watched the whole first season of Dallas, but it was after we had done, we finished with filming. So
mm-hmm.
I kind of watched that season in preparation, just trying to see like, just basically just knowing what to expect. The critics and just people on YouTube, but nothing. Watching the show doesn't prepare you for what you experience.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. What kind of speak on that a little bit? Like, how was your experience on the show? Was it memorable? Was it cool? Was it what was it what you expected? Like, uh, talk about your experience on the show.
Man, not to be too vulgar, but I basically raw dog this experience. I just came in and was just like, man, I just want to. I had a great experience overall, but it was also like it was some things that happened that impact me negatively as far as my perspective. Because I'm a person. I'm pretty diplomatic, and
Hmm.
I'm also a person who believes in trying to bring everybody together, especially Black people. So just seeing so much tension amongst people over nothing was discouraging for me.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Yeah. Um, Let me ask you this: which one of the guys are you like? Who are you cool with as far as the guys only? Who are you cool with? Do
The
you
coolest
still
with
keep it?
right now.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I think I'm on. I think most of the guys have a decent opinion. I'm cool with all the guys. It's one in particular who I think have a problem with me, but I don't have a problem with him. And there's the one I communicate with the most is probably Will. They're the real estate gentleman.
Oh, I called him Chocolate Will, but
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, Chocolate Will.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's what's up.
yeah.
So let me ask you, when you seen all the women, right, and they came into that whole, what was it, the brunch or whatever,
Mhm.
you got a full view of all the ladies.
Yeah.
All right. Out of all of those chicks, man, which one was you like, man, she is nice. Okay, I gotta put a baby in her, or I gotta really get to know her. Which one of the chicks was it that you said, okay, this is the one that I'm probably the most physically attracted to?
Yeah, man. Funny thing is, the second group was already there sitting down, and they presented us like we were some trophies or some shit. And so I walked in. As soon as I saw Vanessa, I'm like, boom,
Hmm.
So I saw Vanessa. I sit down directly beside Vanessa. So so she
Oh,
was
okay.
the one that caught my eye.
I'm sorry. What was that?
She was the one that caught my eye the most, Vanessa.
Oh, Vanessa. Okay, so she was the nicest one.
Hmm.
Vanessa Vanessa is fine, man.
Yeah,
You
she's
know,
man, she's
I ain't gonna
natural.
hold you. Vanessa is fine. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
so I can't blame you there, man.
yeah.
So who did you talk to on the phone the most? Like, which one of the chicks had the most personality, or the personality that you can kind of vibe with the most?
Easily, Alexis.
Really?
Easily. So like me and her, like now one thing about the show, one thing that people don't see is like you don't get to choose who you go on dates with. So a lot of times
Really?
you show up to
Okay.
a date and you don't even know who you're about to meet. So they pretty much have in their mind who they want to pair you with and who they want to create a connection with. So if they're not putting you on dates with who you want to date, you have to create connections outside of the show. And me and Alexis was able to do that.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I was digging Alexis too. I don't know if you
Oh,
watched, but yeah, I was yeah, I was digging Alexis too, man. She just seemed like that cool chick that you could really hang out with. And when you said at that elimination, right, that she's somebody you could take to the jazz place or whatever,
yep.
I was right on point, which was like, yeah, she does seem like that type of woman that can you could really do a lot of stuff with and not get bored and chillax and all that, you know. So yeah, shout out to Alexis.
Oh,
You
big
know
fan.
what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Um, Let me ask you who came up with the game of what was that? Truth
True
or Sexy? Now, was it you or was it production that put you up to that?
production, and it's so funny because they asked me to do it. We all drinking, we having a good time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked me to do it. I didn't think anything about it, but I'm driving. The next day, I woke up. I'm like, damn, they gonna make me look like a freak on TV. I'm like, man, my mom gotta watch this. My dad. So, uh, yeah. So they put me up to that. I didn't even understand the rules of the game.
Oh,
So
for real?
I was like, man,
Wow.
how do you play? So, but we made the most out of it, and we created some moments out of that game. Some big moments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought that was an interesting game. I don't, you know, it's funny you say you didn't even know the rules, so it's funny that they put you up to it.
Right.
John said it was boring. When I seen one of his interviews, he said it was a boring game. What was it boring to you too, or what?
It wasn't boring, but I just think that he was ready to spice some things up just because, the earlier conversation between him and Alexis, she was kind of trying to say he's too reserved, too shy. And he was like, I got your reserved. So I didn't get to see that conversation they had. So the way it all came together, it was a beautiful story. Just to kind of give you some inside information, prior to us having that pajama party, we had met up with Tommy at the cigar lounge, and behind the scenes, Tommy had a conversation about the guys being too touchy feely, too sexual, too that. So
Mm.
he had to sit down and talk to all of us, but it was targeted towards a couple other guys. But had that conversation with us. Then immediately after having the conversation with us, he was like, "Hey, well, let's go to the party. Let's go to the pajama party. Let's make it sexy." And I'm like, "We just had the whole sex,
Right.
but it just it's part of it.
So Tommy had already started to warn you guys about that, huh? Now, okay. So let me ask you this: what were your opinions about the whole John and Alexis thing? Like when you seen John take her and Strata after y'all done had the conversation with Tommy, like what's going through your mind?
Man, what was it? When they Henny in the system, made no telling what I'm a pimp by blood. I
Right.
really felt like I feel like that. He was tipsy, and I felt like I seen the look in his eyes. As he did that, and I seen the look in his eyes when he got up. He meant that. I don't think he meant to offend her, but he meant
Mm-hmm.
to let her know, like, hey, I ain't what you think I am. You know, I think that I really wanted to make sure she was comfortable.
Right. Right.
Like in this, because she's you know, it shows through television, but in real life, she's extremely protective of a black man. You know,
For
and
real.
she's extremely protective. So he picked the right one to do that with because he would have had a charge. He would have had a pending case if he would have did some of those other ladies like that.
Oh,
You
but
know, so
Alexis is down for brothers, so she ain't go rat him out like that.
she can get you together off camera. Just because she has a healthy relationship with her family. Her father. Like she knows that this particular platform. Me and her talk about it all the time. This particular platform can completely ruin your reputation. So she took that into account sometimes when addressing and responding to some of the brothers.
Is Alexis mixed?
Nah, nah. She just I think her mom and dad are light skinned, so she's somewhere down the line she mixed, but
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. I was
yeah,
just wondering.
nah, she's
But
black.
that's good that she kind of handled it. I thought she handled it pretty well. She let him know that it wasn't cool, but at the same time, you know, didn't like try to make him look too bad about it.
Right.
So he got the message, and plus it was a learning experience. Maybe he won't drink so much in certain situations like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now Patrice said something afterwards, man, that kind of caught my attention. She was like,
Mm.
uh, Chaz is the man. All the way, when
Hmm.
Chaz was, asked her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we'll all agree that Chaz is the dude." And then
Say,
Patrice said
mhm.
in her interview, even some of the men know Chaz is the man. Like, is that what y'all thought, or how did y'all take that whole when you seen that scene when you see Patrice say that?
Mhm.
Was that an agreement with all the guys that Chaz is the dude?
I don't know where she got that shit from, to be honest. And pardon my French.
Right,
I don't know where she
right.
got that from, but she could definitely speak for herself. But
Mm,
I don't necessarily think that the fellas felt like that.
oh,
Chad's a cool brother, so I do think that there are some guys who look up to him, and
mm,
there's some guys who look over at him.
right, right.
He's a cool brother, but nah, she was speaking for herself.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't speaking for none of the other ladies when she was like, or even for the men saying, they all know he the dude or whatever.
She may have been speaking for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh, okay.
to be honest, he did have the most connections and most interest out of the ladies. Chad's a smooth brother, good looking brother. So
Mm,
yeah, he definitely had the most interest. So she spoke for the ladies, but
right,
not
right, right.
not the guys.
Not the guys. Yeah, yeah. I thought that was a little odd, and I was like, do the brothers really know that? I don't think they would agree with that.
Yeah, she
But
you know
Yeah, I was like, but because I know dudes, man, we can be a little ego. We got a little ego too. We ain't gonna just let any dude just. We ain't gonna think no other dude is better than us or nothing like that.
Yeah, and people can be better in different facets. For instance,
Right.
for
Right.
instance, I used to shoot ball back in the day. I mean,
Hmm.
right now I know if I go play, there's some dudes who would he better me on the basketball court. But as far as character and overall, I don't really submit to anybody.
Right. I rock with that. I hear you on that, man. And that's my philosophy too. I don't think anybody's better than anybody. I just think that people are better for other people. That's where it is.
Mhm.
Um, Patrice, April, and Koshia. Do you
Mhm.
do you talk to any of these ladies, or have you talked to them? I know Patricia. Patricia. I'm sorry. She was on the first episode, and we haven't seen much of her. I think she was the first to be let go, and then April, and then Koshia. So, do you talk to any of those ladies? I kind of want to give them a shout out here.
No, not. I don't. I mean, I have access to Patricia. So the funny thing about Patricia, she was the first to get eliminated. So,
Yeah, and I think she in tech too, by the way. But yeah.
so she got eliminated before we even got the chance to meet her, which I thought was unfair.
Oh, so you never met her? You wasn't in the? Were you in the first group?
I was in the first group; she was in the second. So
Oh,
they
okay.
split up those two mixes, and so Demonte got sent home first episode. Patricia got
Hmm.
sent home second episode, and I really thought that was unfair to send her home,
Yeah.
even though I can see why they sent her home after I got to know her a little bit, But
So you did get to know her.
yeah, we had a photo shoot one day,
Oh,
and
okay.
we had a photo shoot, and I seen her sitting in the car, and I'd already seen her on Instagram because, in my personal opinion, I think she was probably the prettiest woman on the show. Like I love Haitian women. I love Haitian women,
Mm.
and she's Haitian, and she has beautiful skin. I think she's extremely pretty.
Yeah, yeah. She was nice. She was nice. Honestly, she was better looking than I initially thought she was going to be. When I seen her when I seen her pictures, I wasn't taken back. But
Right?
when I seen her on TV, I was
Yeah,
like, oh, she got it. She
yeah,
got the body too.
yeah. Yeah, she got a nice shape and all that. Not to speak on it, but she's yeah, I was attracted to her. So we chopped it up, exchanged information, and we kept in contact for a brief moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Tell me about your connection with Leyland, man. What are your thoughts on Leyland? Or can you speak on it?
I can speak on it. So
Okay.
Leyland, I can't call it a connection. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So, one thing that I do like to differentiate is there's a difference between interest and having a connection. You know,
Mm.
so like for me starting off, I had a lot of interest from the ladies. They didn't show a lot of it, but I had more interest. But it's only a connection if I have interest back. So with
Gotcha.
LinkedIn, I was interested in her, but I only met her that one time. We had to sit down, and she was gone. You know, she was
It
gone
was
like
it was it was pretty fast, about a few days or so, or what?
it was a few days, and I had to leave the process. So I was missing from maybe episode I think four, three, half of three, and probably part of four or whatnot. So I had to leave town. I had some family.
Oh, see, so that's why we didn't really see you in a couple episodes. I was like, where is Dom? Where
Mhm.
is who else? Was it Leyland? I think she was missing for. Oh, Rashida kept kind of disappearing a little bit too,
Mhm.
every now and then. So I was like, where's Dominique at? And so you had to leave, huh?
Had to leave, man. I mean, to the extent where I was thinking about leaving the process, and
What?
they convinced me to kind of come back, and so I came back. I came back the day of the pajama party, and so I
Mm.
missed a lot of time. So I kept up with the two women that I was interested in a little bit, but
Hmm.
there was a lot of women who I didn't nurture that relationship.
So Leyland was one of those ladies that you didn't get enough time with her to really make a solid connection.
No one did. You see, if you go back and watch the show, we never. I don't think Laylene ever said that she liked anybody because she was there and gone so quick. Men were more interested in her, but she never really had a lounge moment to where she said, "This is who I'm into." Now I've hung out with her outside of the process. We
Mm,
got a couple months ago, me, her, and my sister, and
mm,
we had a great time. And she's an amazingly dope woman.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, Let me ask you. Okay, first of all, we all know that Shamika's a beautiful woman,
Big.
right? Face, body,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful woman. What is it that you were attracted to with Shamika that wasn't about looks? What is it? What is it internally about her that connected you to her?
This gonna sound crazy because I don't think I told anybody this, but she reminded me of my mother more than any other women. And
Mm.
so one thing about Mika is that her kids come first, and when you're dating someone like that, that's not always the best thing, but at the same time, when you're a child, that's what's most important. And that's kind of how my mom was. My mom wasn't a community person when I was a kid. She was all about me and my sister and, and,
Mm-hmm.
and nurturing us, and everything else came after us. And my mother is a very devoted mother, and that's one thing about Mika that I do respect. You know what I'm saying? Like her kids come first. She also has a sense of humor. Like they didn't necessarily highlight that, but she's I think later on in these next couple of episodes, you'll see her open up a little more as she's building stronger connections.
Yeah, because I was at a point where I was thinking that she had a lot in common with Jonathan as far as not really opening up,
Oh, facts, yeah.
to the level that everybody would have liked her to. I remember her having a conversation with Chaz. Chaz like, so just open up with all the guys. I think it was at an elimination, and she was
Mhm.
like, "I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing." And I'm like, "What? This is why Jonathan got let go for the most part." So if I'm keeping it a buck with you,
hmm.
there's a lot of people I'm surprised still on the show.
Well, so are we. And I just kind of want to let you know that the people who are on the show isn't always a reflection of who was voted on, who was voted off.
Right.
Some people just have immunity, regardless of what
Yeah.
people vote in. So I think some people, if they think that it'll help the ratings or shares or stuff like that, no matter who we vote off, they'll do what's in the best interest of entertainment and,
Wow.
and business,
Wow.
and as they should, to be honest with you, because
Hmm.
this is
It's entertainment at the end of the day.
entertainment. If nobody's watching, what I'm saying, for me, like let's just say I may be a good option to date in real life, but LeBron may be better for stirring up some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like
Right.
I think it makes sense to protect certain people. Like I don't have a problem with it. In the midst of it, when you're emotionally involved about the process and you see certain people not being let go as they should, then you have emotions about it. But at the same time, it's still entertainment. You got to respect it for what it is.
Well, I always suspected that, man, that they would keep people for drama reasons. I'm surprised they didn't keep Koshia for drama reasons. But I
Yeah,
I think Koshia probably would have probably got into something physical though. That's probably why they
I don't
removed
think
it. I
so.
don't know. You don't think so?
Nah, I didn't get her. She did more talking about physical stuff versus doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But the way she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna smack this bitch." I mean, that's what she said. You know what I
right.
mean? To Alexis, I was like, and Alexis was not backing down. She like, we can go there. We can go. We can take it outside. So
Uh-huh.
I think it was probably best to kind of separate those two in a certain type of way.
Yeah, I've been in plenty of fights in my life, especially growing up as a young man, and I've never warned somebody before I punched them.
Facts. I haven't either. It was just you was
Give me a
out.
minute, it's boom. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Yep. Yep. So I get that. Um, talk to me, man, about this whole conspiracy, man.
Mhm.
Give us some insight on this whole conspiring to get people out, and these text messages and these, screenshots and all this other stuff. What's going on with all that?
Yeah, man. For one, I mean, it made an interesting episode last night. For two, man, when I joined this process, I was open. I wanted to come and find love. I thought
Mm-hmm.
this would be maybe a good opportunity business wise, at least when I'm at the beginning stages of casting for the show. And I also, me moving to a new city, I don't really know anybody in Dallas. I've met a lot of women since I've been here, but I haven't necessarily created a lot of homeboys and friendships. And I love that camaraderie. I have it back home. I have it in different cities, different countries, but don't necessarily have it here. So when we created that group chat after we all first met at the first mixer, it was really about camaraderie. We talked about our dates. Hey, who y'all going on a date with today? How you feeling about her? We talked about who we did like, and we also talked about. Well, some people talked about who they really wasn't feeling, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Mm-hmm.
and so everybody was a part of those group chats. I think what happened in the group chats is that right before the first gentleman's lounge, uh, uh, we had pretty much talked about like, okay, like who y'all feeling, who y'all not feeling, and everybody kind of was saying the same thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling, I'm not feeling Mika because she don't want any more
Yes.
treatment. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling Koshia just because of her personality and or whatever. It was for different reasons, but LeBron was on board to eliminate Mika, but he wasn't on board with eliminating Koshia. And so, like for me, we can call it a conspiracy, but to me, it's the same thing. In the lounge, we talk about who we like, who we don't like, who we gonna vote on.
Right.
So
Right.
conspiracy. When I think of a conspiracy, man, I think about the Cold War. I think about Russia. I think about Korea. I don't think about a dating show. It-
Facts, man.
if you take a
Facts.
screenshot, if someone from the group takes a screenshot and you share it with Mika, who's already not a trusting person,
Mm-hmm.
so that group chat was pretty much over with. It lasted for about a week. Once dudes, and you could kind of tell dudes was kind of like, we wanted to start off being cool. Then after about a week, everybody was like, "Man, I'm going my own way. This is bullshit." Excuse my language.
Yeah, because what I noticed, man, is it seemed like every RTL season,
Hmm.
what I noticed is that people click up,
Yeah.
and there's always a left camp and a right camp. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Um, it seems like Chaz, LaRon, they're kind of in the same camp.
Hmm.
It seems like the Wills, maybe y'all in the same camp. I don't know how the camps are divided up, but I can kind of tell that everybody kind of clicks up in their own little camp. Just people you can relate to. It ain't even malicious or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just a vibe or just people you can kind of vibe with.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's that, and it's also alliances, that people build to protect each other, not to get voted off the show. And people do that. So for me, that's with me not watching the show. I think it was kind of to my benefit because I didn't come into the show with a strategy on how I'm going to make it to the end. I
Mm.
came to the show and said, I'm just going to be myself. And if I connect with one of these ladies, that's amazing. If I don't, I'm going to connect with one of these ladies who watch me at home. You know what I'm saying? And that
Mm-hmm.
was my approach. And it was a masterful approach because I was able to do both.
That's what's up.
And so for me, but yeah, people create alliances. I had one of the young ladies, and I won't say her name, but like, approached me about joining together and alliances and stuff like it, protecting each other to the end. And like, so in my mind, I just was confused just because I didn't know, what was the purpose of making it to the end of the show. They don't give us no extra checks. I mean, like, I didn't know, like, okay, like what's the big deal about making it to the end? Because people at home, especially the people who have intuition, they can tell who's on there being themselves and who's over on there that's fake and just trying to win a competition. And
Mm-hmm.
I think alliances and stuff like it costs you more than it benefits you. You make it to the end, but you may look like a sucker at the end.
Right, right, right. Yeah, because those alliances, man. I mean, I kind of get it. It's like survival of You know, it's like Survivor, like dating Survivor or something. Like everybody want to make it to the end and be the last people standing. You know, but it could be kind of lame too.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me ask you this. Tell us more about Alexis, man. What? Tell us about y'all connection. Um, was there a connection? I know that y'all went on that little that date with the stretching and stuff like that. Is that where it started? Did it end or what? Talk to me about Alexis.
I mean, it started from when we first met at that initial mixer.
Okay.
With production has to tell a story, so they don't
Mm,
necessarily have time to show a recap of everything that happened. So they have to
gotcha.
pick to what's best for the show and what storyline do we want to go with, and so me and her had talked at the end of the night, and I had been hearing about it from everybody. Everybody liked it, but I didn't get a chance to really sit down and talk to her. So we had a conversation, and I pretty much I read kind of straight through her. And one of the first things I told her, I can tell you have a really great personality, and everybody likes you, but I already know you don't like everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you've probably traditionally had to deal with that throughout your life. And she was like, yeah, I have. She was like, it's a guy who works at my apartment complex who really thinks I'm into it. So I was kind of, we was having, we always had a multi-layered conversation, uh, and we were able to keep it going from there. So on this particular season, everybody had clicked up in relationships, quote unquote, so quick, and I didn't. I kind of was just like, oh, that's you. Oh, that's your queen. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna get the women from TV. Y'all do y'all thing. And so everybody was almost coupled up, and so me and her stayed in contact. And around the time Will got eliminated, me and her kind of picked up steam. So
mm.
it was more so outside of the show, man. We'd be on the phone or just whatever. We linked up after the show, or whatever, and hung out and stuff. But yeah, it was yeah, yeah, we got a cool connection.
Wow. I was doing some matchmaking stuff, man, but I'm gonna get into that a little later.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've seen your older
You
ones, and
seen it? You
I
seen?
think I think you, and one of the reasons I'm here, man. I think you do a really good job of reading in between the lines. Of course, it's not always going to be 100% accurate, but
Right, right, right.
I think you're intuitive enough to kind of read into what you're seeing. Some people they can't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They can't do it. Yeah, and yeah, it's just life experience. I try to
Hmm.
read and see what's going on. Yeah, I'm not gonna hit everything, but I do think I get some things right.
Yeah.
And just try to give people perspective. I appreciate you noticing that.
Sure.
Tell me about Vanessa, man. How did that connection start? Kind of. It seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere a little bit. Tell us about that.
Well, so with me missing so much time, out of all the people on the show, I missed the most time in regards to as far as recording. So production kind of had to find a way to um, for my character, like, so them not showing me ties into my character, and it makes it more justifiable for me to get eliminated. But if they showed all the women that were interested in me at the beginning, it would have made it harder for them to justify my elimination. So I met her at the brunch. Like I said, I sit directly beside her. So we
Mm-hmm.
had a conversation, for maybe 20, 30 minutes. And I was already physically attracted to her. And,
Mm-hmm.
one of the first things she said, she was like, I don't normally wear stuff like this. I'm like, shit, me neither, So she's more of she got a hippie spirit to her.
Oh,
She's
for real.
more like more got the spirit of a hipster, you know what I'm saying? So, she's a flight attendant, so she travels a lot. I travel, I go out the country once or twice a month. You know what I'm saying? So I travel a bunch. I used to live in Mexico. I lived in Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
Oh, for real.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I told her about that. She was like, "Yeah, I was just in Playa del Carmen," and she pulled up a picture. I had a condo on the beach in Mexico. She was standing in the picture, and my condo was in the background. Like, she was on my block, and I don't.
really?
Yeah, I don't take stuff like that. I really don't believe in coincidence. I'm sitting here looking like, out of all the places you could have took a picture of, you're right by my condo. So
Right. Right.
from there, we were able to kind of just build from there. And one thing I think that kind of hurt us on the show is that they set up those two separate mixes, and they kind of let us roam around,
Mm-hmm.
on the mixes. And she had a really nice moment with Chaz on that first episode, and
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't really have any moments with anybody else. But boom, so Connect Production, they caught that, and however you start off on this show, they kind of can stick you to being with this person. For instance, me and Mika had a great conversation, on the bridge, and on the first episode. Mika didn't connect with nobody else but me on that particular day. They
Mm-hmm.
stuck me and her together for 4 episodes just because of that moment. And that's
Oh,
kind
for
of
real.
yeah, with Chaz and Vanessa. Like, they started out so strong to the point to where, like, they didn't really give her opportunities to date. Like, Vanessa had to beg production to go out on dates with me.
Really?
Yeah, they wouldn't do it because
Why? Because they were trying to connect her to Chaz or something?
they wanted to stick to the storyline, and that's okay, and that's perfectly okay. But it's not
That's
conducive. It's
yeah. It's not conducive to. I mean, you there to find love, so you should be able to, talk to everybody or go on dates with everybody instead of sticking to certain storylines. Is it? I mean, is it more about you finding love, or is it more about them get? It's pretty clear. It seems to be more about them getting their storylines off than the process of y'all finding love. But I think if y'all were able to mix and mingle, and find your person, that would be a better storyline than anything that they will create. You see what I'm saying?
true.
Like if you mix and mingle and you spend time with Vanessa like that, because
Hmm.
you were able to get on a date with her,
Yeah,
then that's a beautiful story. Everybody
right,
want to see that they want to see the real. They don't want to see no fugazi stuff. You
right,
know what I mean?
right. And we hit it off. I mean, we hit it off pretty quickly. We had moments that I just knew that they were going to show because, her showing me a picture of her outside of my condo in Mexico. I was like, okay, that's probably going to be on the show. They didn't show us interacting at all to maybe like episode 6. Like, even when we played that game at the pajama party.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's the game called? What's the game called again? You remember?
Uh, True for sexy.
True to Sexy.
Or,
That's right.
mm-hmm.
They had cut out me and her scene, so every question was showed except for maybe two, and one of them, Rashina had asked me because me and Rashina had a connection initially, like, just as far as, like, I thought she was a dope chick and still do, and she seemed to be interested. I was in her top at first. Um, so she asked me who did I think was the sexiest woman there in the True for Sexy game. I said
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa, and with
Mm,
Vanessa, melted right there. You know,
really?
she melted, and so that was a potential moment to start to show the build up, but they saw that it was better to cut that out and just kind of phase me out, and I'm perfectly okay with it because I did put them in a tough position by missing so much time. So
Mm-hmm.
I take responsibility of that, but what's meant to be is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They should have showed that too, but yeah, I've always thought this, man. I think that RTL should have longer. They probably can't, but I think they should have longer seasons,
Mm,
or the episodes should be 2 hours instead of 1 hour,
mm,
so that the more of the story can be told, the full story can be told. We could see dates of you and Vanessa, or her in front of your condo. We can see other stuff like that, and what will be what will be, instead of trying to create these storylines.
right.
Show it all. You know what I mean? Show more of it. I think, but network stuff. I don't know if they can get 2 hours, and I don't know if they can get 24 episodes. Probably just 12, or you know what I'm saying. But
That's a great idea.
it will be great if they opened it up a little bit more, or even had another season. So they'll stop halfway through on one season, and then maybe come back or revisit it or something. I don't know. I just think that the viewers especially, need more time to see what's going on and
True.
see the connections, and that way it can make for a more real scenario with what's happening instead of trying to squeeze and compact everything
Right.
together to try to create these storylines, and then it's you don't get to see it. So that's just my take on it.
Not to bash them, but I do think they missed opportunities because, just by looking at the season, you wouldn't think anyone connected. In
Right, right.
reality, but in reality, I mean, I know a little bit more behind the scenes. People were doing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they was connecting, right? So and
I bet.
50% connection rate, which is relatively high. So
Mm,
yeah, so there was more connecting going on. But to your point, they probably don't have the luxury of making it 2 hours because they got other episodes to compete with. But have you ever seen where they upload clips on YouTube that didn't make the show?
mm-hmm.
They
I
should
see
do more.
those.
They should do more of that. I think maybe like just for people who really, really are in tune with the show, you can maybe fill in what you're not seeing on YouTube, maybe. But they don't do that enough, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah. I'll agree with that. They could probably do more of that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So definitely. Uh, talk to us about Maya, man. What did you see in her? You said something about her and Will, and she looked married. Okay.
Yeah, I
We
did.
were like, we was like, I was like, I don't really see them being married like that.
Right.
But you said that she looked married. What did you see in them two that we didn't see?
So what I saw for me, and this helps me in dating and it hurts me is well, I live in abundance when it comes to women. Uh,
Mm.
I live
Okay.
an abundant life in dating. So for me, when I see someone who's really interested in somebody, unless I think like that's my person, then I can just be like, that's all you, brother. And
Mm-hmm.
I can tell that she was special to him. I didn't see what he saw, but I can tell like this was something that was an opportunity for him that maybe not something that he may have normal access to. So
Mm.
like for me, and I have absolute respect for him. He's one of the more stand up gentlemen that was on this show, and so for me, I backed up because I respect him, and,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
and I didn't want to like if I see that a man is genuinely pursuing a woman, I don't want to bring any confusion to her or make it any tough. I'm like, this dude is serious. And
Yeah.
then I got
Yeah.
respect for him. If he was a guy who I thought was like a sucker or something, then I wouldn't have cared about his pursuit. But just because I respect him, I step back. Him and Maya didn't always make sense, but at the same time, she seemed to be compliant with his pursuit. Maya is a woman who want to be pursued, so I get the sense that Maya ends up with a lot of brothers that she's not supposed to be with, just because
Mm.
she's one of those women who want somebody to apply pressure, and so
Yeah,
whoever
and the guy who apply pressure is gonna get her whether he's good for her or not. Is that what
that
you're saying?
one of the things she said that kind of it made me think about that is she was like on her intro she was like I've been with a lot of frogs and I'm just looking for my prince. That was
Mm.
I was like shit. What the hell you date? What you dating frogs for? What I'm saying? Things like that. So and she also said in one of her other on a YouTube clip, she was like, I don't want to date a man with kids, but every guy that I've dated has had children. What I'm saying? So I'm okay with you having 3 kids. So she told Will that. And I'm like, okay.
Mm.
And to me, that was reflective of like she has a tendency to maybe settle a little and just end
Mm.
up with whoever's applying the most pressure. And she's to me, I think she's an attractive woman, and I feel like she should probably maybe make herself a little more available to kind of get what she wants versus because some of us we want what we want from who we want.
Right.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, like, and that's why, like, she probably like what you said. I saw your clip. She was maybe a little more harsher with me because me not pursuing her was probably maybe offensive. She
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I always thought that Maya was she should probably be a little more involved in the whole courting thing. I think she leaves a lot for on the man because she is a woman who wants to be chased,
right?
and it kind of can come off sometimes as her being a little too into herself, and you got to do all the chasing. But those guys who do all that chasing, they they're not gonna always be the best guys for her, because you could have some real lames come up and spit game and stuff like that, and still, kind of get her attention. But I just thought that she could be a little bit more discerning too in who she chooses to give her attention to.
Right.
But still a pretty dope chick. Let me
Yeah.
ask you: did you think that she was kind of cold to you during the elimination, or it was par for the course, or what?
Not really.
Okay.
I didn't perceive it that way. So like when you show up to a date. Oh yeah, and let me touch this subject too. When I first met Maya at the brunch, I asked her for a number. She gave it to me.
Mm.
So I was about to hit her up like a couple days later, and I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find her number. Like I don't know if I saved it under the wrong name or something. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll see her again. By the next time I saw her, Will kind of had like a aura, like this my girl, and
Mm.
so I was like, shit, good luck, you know.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
But to go back to the date, when you show up to these days, you don't know, whether it's an elimination date, a bubble date. You don't know that until you get eliminated.
Mm.
So she was giving me feedback, and I'm like, okay, cool. I was receptive to the feedback she was giving me because initially I was thinking it was a bubble date.
So a bubble date, define that for the folks in the back. Is that like you're on the chopping block,
Basically,
and
yeah,
okay, and you don't know which way it's going to go?
right,
Okay.
right.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes it's that you're at the bottom because they may have a ladies' lounge that may end at 10 p.m. They'll give you a call at 10:15, like, hey, we need you to come down for a date. Like that's all you know. This will be 10:15 at night. Sometimes 11 o'clock at night. They have
Mm.
you at an empty bar at 11 o'clock at night. Talking about some things the ladies want to see from you. I'm like, look, I gotta go to work in the morning. Which
Right.
I
Right. I ain't
never had
got time for this. Just let
exactly.
me know if I'm eliminated or not.
Yeah, I never had a bubble date, and I also never had. I never really got any feedback, from the ladies in regards to anything that I could have done to. That was at one time Vanessa, like she wanted me to apply more pressure, but outside of that, I never really got any real feedback from the ladies on what I could be doing better until I was eliminated.
Mm. Yeah. Now, when you were at the elimination, and in your confessional, you said that you were hurt.
Yep. Yeah, I was.
So what was it? Was it the person who told you that hurt you, or was it the fact or what she said that hurt you?
It was my ego. So
Oh, it was the ego.
yeah.
Okay.
So like when I said I was hurt, I wasn't referring to present tense as I'm hurt in this moment because I think my
Okay.
ego was a couple days later, but I became egotistic for about an hour and 30 minutes after I was eliminated. So when she initially told me that, I was like, "Y'all eliminated me over these dudes," So like that was my ego speaking because I do like them,
Right.
So I
Mm.
associated that with hurt, versus I was like, okay, my ego was hurt for an hour. I woke up happy, everything was back to normal.
Right. Let me ask you: do you consider yourself a humble guy, a shy guy, a conservative guy?
Ooh, humble, man. I'm probably a mixture, a little bit of everything, but it's I think it's situational.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but now I'm a very outgoing person. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I will say on this particular show, there was more to me than what was shown, but I also operated in safe mode while being on this show.
Mm.
And a lot of reason behind that is because I didn't necessarily feel safe on the show. And
Why is that?
I knew how much of an impact, how much damage being on the show could have on your reputation.
Mm.
And, anything that a lot of the women experienced, they went straight back to the lounge and like, he's sleeping on the floor. He touched me. He said this to me, and I didn't want my reputation to be damaged by being on this show. So I was very careful about how I treated the women, which I generally am in real life. But the last thing I wanted is for a woman to say that I offended her, or made her feel some type of way. So I was very respectful and careful about how I treated them, and it worked out for me. It was funny because Vanessa wanted me to. She said, "I want you to apply more pressure," but I didn't feel safe with Vanessa. You know,
Wow, really?
no, I didn't. And not. I just knew that she could easily be offended. You know what I'm saying? Like the way
Mm.
she operated initially was like she's very feminist. Like she's a feminist. So like, I didn't want to offend her in that way. So I was very careful with her until she let me know that she was comfortable and she wanted more from me. So I gradually, just became more comfortable with her.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Vanessa was. I I don't know. I thought y'all would make a pretty good couple,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's crazy. Let me ask you this. So you're 36, right?
Yep.
Uh, and you say your grandfather had like how many kids?
23.
23.
Man, he was a wood slayer, dragon slayer.
He was slaying like a mud.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, man, why no kids by this age at 36? Why, like, what were you doing with your time? Why? Because I know you want kids heavy.
Right.
So why no kids yet?
Ooh. So this is an exclusive. So funny thing is, when I was 17, I got my high school sweetheart pregnant. Um,
Mm.
we chose not to have it. So I had a car in high school or whatever, and car means more access. So
Right.
my mom, she noticed I'm coming in 2, 3 in the morning now. My
Uh
senior
huh.
high school. So my mom, without even knowing, my mom came into my bedroom one time and she was like, in the morning time, she was like, Dominique, don't make permanent decisions with temporary people.
Mm.
And
Bars.
yeah, and she just walked off like a ghost, after she said that. And that stuck with me for some reason. She didn't even know my girlfriend was pregnant at the time,
Mm.
so
She
uh,
probably knew the kind of girl, or just knew the kind of situation you were in with her.
she
That's
did.
probably why she mentioned it.
She did know that, and not that that's the reason why we didn't have the child, because I pretty much made that decision along with her. It's like, okay, this ain't the best time. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have a child. And I've moved since then. I've moved very carefully. I asked myself, are you someone that I can see in my life for the duration, before because as much as I want kids, I don't want to have them without a wife. I want a family. And
Mm.
so if I have to wait until I'm 38, 37, 40, before I'm comfortable with like this feeling like I'm in a safe space to or see like some permanence in the situation, I'm not just gonna be out here popping out babies. So now the whole 10 kids thing, that may be that's a dream. Like
Hmm.
that's more so like if somebody asks you how much money you want, you say I want a 50 gajillion dollars. You ain't gonna say I want $50,000. You want 10 billion. So
Right. Right.
when I say 10 kids, that's how much I would love 30 kids. So
Hmm. Yeah.
reality at this point, I'll take whatever God has for me. And I did say that in the first episode, but
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
people heard 10 kids and it was like, and women got offended by that.
What? They got offended by it. You want? Well, I mean, I guess I can kind of understand from a female perspective. A lot of these women are probably not in the age range where they could
Right,
even pull that off if they wanted to.
right, right.
And plus they have to do the carrying, so
Mhm.
that could probably be a little stressful on their mental. So,
Right. Thanks.
but yeah, if you want 10, it's possible.
Man,
You probably gonna have to go overseas or something to do that, because
that's an option.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey man, I was in Africa too, so I'm just saying, what I
Which
mean? It's probably I went to Uganda for a minute.
did you?
Yeah, Yeah, I went to Uganda, and it's big families there. It's a lot of um, I'll put it this way: alternative ways of doing marriage.
Yeah,
Okay,
uh,
okay,
yeah,
okay. So let's just say you could probably have a few at one time. Let's just put it
right.
that way.
And for me, man, this as much as I travel, as much as I see, when I have conversations like I want 2 to 10, I'm factoring in everything. You know,
Yeah,
people
yeah,
kind of are boxed into just the lifestyle that we live here, and just with as much as I've traveled, I've seen people pulling off some things that, you'll never imagine.
you can pull it off. You can pull
Mm,
it off, my man.
yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I mean that explains why no kids.
yeah.
Let me ask you this: is there a woman you feel in this? I don't want to step on no episodes or no reunions or nothing, but is there a woman you feel like got away in this whole episode? Somebody you wish you had more time with, or somebody who maybe was misunderstood or anything like that, or no, no, it was what it is for the most
Yeah,
part.
yeah. I mean, for one, it's like the story has yet to be told, and yeah. But no, I didn't let anybody get away. You know, the,
Okay.
the ladies who the ladies who I was connected with, like when you're looking for sustainability, you can't necessarily move, within this process the way they want you to move, because
Mm-hmm.
they don't care about your foundation as far as building a relationship. They care about footage and creating the show. But if you come in and you're genuinely building with somebody, that may take time. You probably can't do that within 4 to 6 weeks. But if
Mm.
but if set a steady foundation, you can build on that foundation months outside of the show. Um,
Right. Right.
what I'm saying? And that's more so how I move versus they just telling me to be here, telling me to be there. I got to move at my own pace, and that worked for me in this process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 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 Is there any regrets? Maybe something you shouldn't have said, something you shouldn't have did, uh,
Mhm.
a way you shouldn't have moved, or anything like that.
No, I wouldn't say I don't have any. I can't say I've had any regrets. I kind of wish I could have been a little bit more present, but I did the
Okay.
best. I did the best I could do.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
one particular scene that really rubbed me. So one thing about production, they give a lot of grace. Like a lot of people talk down on production, but because people want to be shown at their best all times.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be marketed almost like you're perfect, but in reality, they show what you give them, but also they also kind of manipulate certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
And one situation that was heavily manipulated that didn't sit well with me was the episode 8 when I got eliminated. Uh, they had made it look like I was a little threatened by Vanessa's ex, and as if I was questioning her, like, "Hey,
Oh
yeah,"
yeah.
and for me, that took either some misunderstanding from my line of questioning or some manipulation. So
Mm.
what had happened in that instance is when I came in and I sat down, Vanessa introduced the gentleman, Thomas, I think. She introduced him as, "Hey, this is my friend." To me,
Mm.
I'm sitting there like, "Friend." I'm like, we had the friend day last week. This was supposed to be an ex date. So I
Mm.
was kind of confused. I'm like, hold on, like, were y'all intimate or something? Because
Right. Right.
I would have introduced an ex as an ex of someone that I dated versus saying this a friend. So me kind of looking for clarity was misunderstood either by production or manipulated to make me look like I was like, hey, like, worried about the gentleman, because at that
Yeah.
particular time I didn't even care enough to worry.
Right. Right. In her confessional, she made it sound like you were. Oh, he thinks we're still sleeping together, or I made a mental note of that, or something like that. She said,
Yeah,
and I was like, I didn't really get that from what you said,
right.
or but I'm not a woman. I don't know how the female mind works sometimes, but maybe there was some. I just said maybe there was something that Dom said that did make her go there and trigger that decision. But from what I've seen and what they shown, I didn't come to that conclusion that you were nervous that they were still smashing or something like that.
No, not
I
at all. Not
I
at all.
just you just asked a question and it was like emotions can be still present with especially when you get physical with somebody and you was just asking a general question and I think she just took it kind of got a little defensive about it maybe I don't know.
Yeah, she did, and we had a conversation about that. Just because I wanted to clear that up because it as a man I'll own up until like I have moments of insecurity. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, especially the way that I like to move. Anytime you're you're going through big changes in life, you're moving, new jobs, like anytime you're amongst change, it's insecurity that comes with that generally.
Mm-hmm.
But that this wasn't one of those moments, and so I had to clear that up with her. Just not too long ago, just let her know like, nah, this was a misread of yours, and because I didn't really like that, but at that particular time, I felt like she had already made her decision in regards to which direction she was swinging in, and in my
Right, right.
and in my head, I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. um I found it interesting that her ex was like, yeah, I think you should rock with Chaz because I know that that's who you want.
Hmm.
And I don't know when he knew that, whether it was during y'all sit down or before then.
Right.
Seemed like it was before then that he
Probably.
knew and that's why he said Chaz. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could see why you would think that she was moving in another direction
Mhm.
already. So
You know
um
what? Funny thing about it, I knew it at the I knew it at the brunch. What was it? No, not the brunch. At the pajama party. So I was having a conversation with her, and that's the weird thing about being on this show because when like for instance when we date, we don't necessarily see people we date dating other people. You know,
right, right,
so
right.
they may be doing other things. They may be intimate, smiling, doing whatever, but now you're seeing it in your face. And
Mm-hmm.
then that's how you have moments like what LeBron had with Koshia, like, don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right, right.
so when I remember having a conversation with Vanessa and Chaz walked up, and I do remember just how she even looked at him. And I was like, okay, cool. At that point, I ain't gonna say I conceded. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
shit. In my mind, I was like, y'all can have all of these women. You know,
Right, right,
like,
right, right.
like I didn't come to the show empty handed. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning on leaving either. I was, I get eliminated from the show. I'm about to call the SEALs team back up. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
like for me, but that was my mentality. But yeah, I was just like, man, y'all can have the women. So I didn't have to. I didn't feel like at the time that I found my wife on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And
Right,
probably
right.
yeah. So for me, but I was open to it. So.
Right, right, right. So let me ask you this: when you looked at yourself on TV,
Hmm.
you got a different perspective on you, right? You seen how you move a little bit.
Hmm.
What did you learn about you that you were saying, oh, okay, I move like this, or what did you learn about you?
It's a great question. Just by watching it.
Yeah, just by watching you.
Um, Man, just consistency. Um, just as
Mm-hmm.
far as like I didn't really deviate it. I didn't deviate from what I said that I wanted, and I kind of just feel like I stood on that throughout the duration of my process. It almost reaffirmed. I was like, dang, I didn't realize that I come off that in that particular manner. But and I can see how that can be unsettling to some women because women like a man to be a little bit more cooperative. But yeah, just how consistent I was as far as like what I said that I wanted.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right. So this is the segment where I'm gonna play a couple cool games. This is lighthearted. Nobody take anything personal. All right. This is BMR. We rank here.
Yeah.
Um, just from your perspective and from your situation, I would like for you to rank the women as far as attractiveness, not their personality, not how beautiful they are inside, just physical, because we all know they're all wonderful women. But from Dom perspective, let's rank some of the women here. Number one,
Question
well,
before we start.
okay, okay,
Is it based upon who I'm attracted to or who's more
on,
attractive?
on you attracted to, not anybody else. This is the Dom scale, or you could go either way you want to do it.
Okay.
With you or take you out of it, however you want to do it.
Ooh, so okay. So we going all 10 women?
All 10 women.
Ooh, okay, let's go.
Okay. How you gonna do it? Is this your perspective or is this general term?
I'm gonna go man up. I'm gonna make it my
My
perspective.
my dude. All right. Number one,
Vanessa.
Vanessa is number one. Okay.
Physically, right?
Physically, just physically. Personality wise, they're all mixed up, and I'm sure the rankings are totally different. We're not gonna go do that one. Number two,
I want to say Patricia.
Patricia
Uh,
is number two.
yeah,
Wow. Okay, that's what's up. Haitian, right? She
yeah.
Haitian.
Mm.
That's what's up. Yeah. Number three,
Number three, tough one. I would say Mika.
Mika. Brick house. I
Man,
ain't
right.
mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Number four,
Ooh, Maya.
Maya.
Yeah, I put Maya.
Okay. 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 And number five,
Number five, I'm gonna go with Alexis.
number five for Alexis is in the building. Okay. Okay. That's what's up. Number six,
And who left?
you got Leylin, you got Rashina.
I forgot about Leylin. Dang, I forgot about Leylin. Well, I'm gonna say Leylin. Leylin.
Okay. Okay. Leylin, number six.
I really would have put her up high, but it was all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Number seven,
I would say number seven. I would say Koshia.
Koshia.
Yeah.
Okay. Number eight,
So we got
we
Patrice,
got Patrice, April, and Rashina.
Rashina. I'm gonna go with Rashina.
Okay. Rashina, number eight. Number nine.
Patrice.
Okay. And April, number 10.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
it's funny thing about April, man, is like energy wise, like me and her had like we had a very good banter with each other. I love her personality. Like
Mm-hmm.
it kind of take somebody like me who can kind of manage banter and not get as easily offended by her and to keep things from escalating. You know what I'm saying?
What, April?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Tell us more about, was she misunderstood, man, in your opinion? Or was she really, just a little, just a little rough around the edges? Describe April a little bit more.
Misunderstood for sure.
Okay.
And what I
Okay.
mean by that is like for me, I like to consider what people consider me to have healing energy.
Uh-huh.
So I've become more empathetic
Right.
for people in general, but especially Black people. And so
Uh-huh.
when I first meet somebody, I can generally tell or get a feel for they done been through some shit. That's them
Right.
in this emotional space, and we all have those moments. And sometimes you meet people that are in different phases of that process.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what she's been through, I think has made her probably a little more defensive. And I remember being defensive, but it's because like how I grew up. I grew up to where when you get offended, you defend, and
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of becomes a part of your a part of your character when you're in certain situations, and you have to heal in order to get out of that mentality when you're not in that situation anymore. Because
Mm.
you can be in a safe environment and still be defensive if you haven't removed that energy from your last situation. And
Right.
I
Right.
felt like either whether her growing up in the hood or maybe her dealings with her ex husband, it put her in a position to where she had to be a little guarded. But I saw through it, and I'm a person who know how to take those guards down and people
Mm.
relax around me. And so I think she was misunderstood. You know, like when I see a sister like that, I want to hug her versus talk down on her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel you on that, man. And um, you know, some things I may say, like I said in one of my videos, man. I'm not holding nobody to nothing, man. This is just a TV show. It's geared towards entertainment. You got production, creating storylines. I'm not gonna hold anybody to nothing, and I don't want anybody to take anything I say personal. And April is probably the top of that list. I do tend to like pick up on certain things that I may suspect, but I don't know nothing for sure. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I'm just talking, man. Just to entertain too, just like the show is. Okay.
I need you. And what I mean by this is that, this is a platform for Black women. So Black men on this show, we're at the receiving end 99% of the time. So,
Mm,
women they're scaling us left and right from sophisticated women, because you got sophisticated reviews, you have
mm-hmm.
good reviews. Everybody's kind of from a different class speaking on their perception of the men, and so we do. I feel like this is bringing a little bit of balance. So you sharing your perspective is like it kind of balances it out a little bit. We just need more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to give more of a male perspective to this whole situation. I know there's a few out there that's doing that.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to do it from a male perspective, and you know, try to make everybody aware, especially like a lot of the women,
Hmm.
aware of the male mind and how it works too. You know what I mean? And some things that we may see in women that they don't realize that we see, or just some behavior patterns and things like that. I'm trying to level it out as much as I can. You know
Do
what I
they care?
mean?
Do they care about your feedback? Like, and I'm genuinely asking because you've been doing this for a minute,
Uh
and
huh.
how do you think women are perceiving your perspective
That's a
on
good question, man. I think that there are. I'll put it this way. I,
it?
I don't think that the majority care.
Right.
Okay, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm a guy. If I
Yeah.
was a female, and I could probably be saying the same things,
Hmm.
it would they would take it a little differently. Now there are some women out there who watch my platform who rock with me heavy and are part of that. Uh, I don't want to say elite group, but they're part of that group that gets it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And they don't care. They want the truth. They don't care who it comes from, male
Yeah.
or female.
Right.
And some of those women rock with me heavy. So shout out to all of those ladies.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of them want to hear things that make them feel better. And sometimes I'm not gonna. I don't do that. I keep it real with the men. I keep it real with the women. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? From a
Right.
male perspective, at least I try to do that and be fair to everybody. But I really do want everybody to have just a male perspective that they could probably relate to, or maybe even see some things that they probably wouldn't have ordinarily seen. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I try to fill that gap a little bit is what I try to do. You know.
It's so crazy. I mean, that's that's a tough position to take on because a lot of people in our community, black, male or female, have never had a male perspective before, and it's sad.
Right.
And
Right.
so like so let's say you pop up on YouTube and like it's off putting because like no one's really factoring in how men really feel or what men want.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm so amazed by the comments that I see about this show, and just the way women are viewing things. It's like, oh wow, like I don't think
Mm-hmm.
you may ever get what you want if this is what you expect.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
really need to have more of these conversations just to try to find some common ground, because a lot of men are out here not knowing what women really want from them. And especially, I think there's a lot of women who they don't even know what to bring to the table, if they or they don't want to bring nothing.
Exactly, man. Exactly. You preaching here, and that's true because, um, sometimes you ask that question, man. What do women bring to the table? A lot of times they'll say they are the table.
Now, I would never ask a woman that. you know,
Right. Right.
I don't believe in asking women that, but I do look to see. Like, because
Right. Right.
you don't have to ask. Like, there are women out here who just make life easier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
their presence is, like on a date. I don't ask you what do you bring to the table, but I'm going to feel it by the most subtle of things that you may do, and yeah. So yeah, I'm with you though.
Yeah. Make no mistake, ladies. We love women.
Mhm.
Okay. We love men. We love women. Okay. This is no. We love, especially in our community. We love everybody. Okay. So don't take anything personal. And let's all learn from all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Learn to understand each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. So, all right. Let me ask. Okay, this is the second game here.
Mhm.
Okay, and I want you to describe the men with one word association with all of the guys. No explanation. I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you. I don't want you to step on. Just give me one word. When I say a name, give me one word and no explanation.
Oh man, this okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Let's start with now. Even if you don't really know these guys, just say
Yeah.
you don't know them or whatever. And I'm gonna start with Demonte.
Demonte, what can I say
One
about
word.
um Demonte? What's the word that comes to mind for Demonte? I would say I'd say cool. This he just Demonte is one of them dudes. He, even though he wasn't on the experience long, he just really just was happy to be a part of it, and just he's a cool brother. He just like he's I ain't got nothing bad to say about that brother. He just a
That's
cool dude, and he just trying to make better for himself. He driven. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. Lamar.
Lamar, I would say transparent. Um,
Mm.
Transparent
Speak.
Lamar. He one of them dudes to what, like, he's gonna say, I think, how he's feeling, what he's thinking, and
Mm-hmm.
he can come off as very offensive, especially to women. But
Mm-hmm.
the benefit of him being his true self is that when he strike gold, he's really going to strike gold. He's not conforming to what he thinks
Mm-hmm.
women wants of him. So when he finds somebody that rocks with him, he's probably going to be happier than the average man, because he sticks to his guns. Um,
Yeah, he stick to his guns. He seemed like the type. He really need a special type of woman that knows him and understands him.
yeah,
I thought it was a cool dude though. He kind of got himself in a little trouble, but
yeah,
I thought he was a cool. I think everybody on some level is cool. You
yeah, fact.
know. Yeah. So let's go with Will Chocolate Will.
Will, I would say, what's a word to describe? You know, Will's kind of, I say classist,
What's that?
classist,
Classist.
classist,
Classist? Okay.
class.
So in classes, he focuses on classes.
He got racism, classism. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, Will is kind of like Will's about his paper. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? He does well for himself, and will respect money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I think he respect money, then everything else come after that.
Come after that,
Yeah.
right? The other William
Sergeant, you know,
Sergeant. He was in the
yeah,
military. Yeah.
you could tell he has that military energy about him. Just a lot of the stereotypical things that you think about a man in the military, as far as being a father, getting married, um, being protective. Like if I were, that's the type of dude I would want watching my back, because he gonna scope the scene out. He's just he moves like a sergeant, has personality. You know what I'm saying? He's a
Mm-hmm.
serious brother, but he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool dude, but I get that sergeant energy, from him.
That's what's up. That's
Yeah.
what's up. Um, Jonathan.
Jonathan, Jonathan is like, I don't want to keep using the same words, but man, I say consistent.
Okay.
Man, he one of them brothers who are like, every time I see him, his energy is the exact. I've only seen him make one face. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just
Yeah.
smooth, he chill, and every
Yeah.
talk to him, he on the same type of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that consistent joint.
Yeah.
Zoe Lonzo.
Youthful.
Useful.
Yeah. With Zoe, Zoe, I got a cousin that reminds me so much of Zoe. Zoe more responsible than my cousin. My cousin, but yeah, Zoe's very youthful. Like to have a good time. But yeah, he gives off very youthful energy.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Cool dude too. Cool dude. LaRon.
LeBron, LeBron, what's a good word to use? LeBron, I, he's like a hot and cold person. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know a word to describe. He's a person that's that he can be your best friend and your worst enemy.
And worse enemy. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Like
you
a
know,
Jekyll and Hyde type.
yeah, Jekyll and Hyde, and he knows it too. But he can be the best person and the worst person, just contingent upon just where he is emotionally, at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I just real quick with that. I found that odd that the brother called both the Wills out. Like,
Hmm.
you got something against Wills or something? Like, he called out the first Will to eliminate Alexis, and then in this last episode he called out the second Will. I'm like, dang, what's I don't know, but LaRon, if you're watching, I'd like to talk to you, brother. Hit me up, blackmanrankings@gmail.com.
Yeah,
We could chop it up for
yeah.
sure.
Me and LeBron cool. So I'll share the message. Last night it felt like he had a Nino Brown moment. At the end of the, everybody told him. What I'm saying, he told him
Yeah.
everybody.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that when he was in the courtroom or whatever.
Yeah. That shit, I enjoyed it, but that shit was after I took my personal feelings out of it, and
Hmm.
I understood why he was doing what he was doing. I didn't really take it personally, because I still walked away from the process with what I wanted.
That's
Uh,
what's up. That's what's
so as
up.
long as I get what I want, man, you can go ahead and throw me under the
And
microphone.
rock. Yeah, yeah. And do what you gonna do. Um, Justin.
Justin, chill. He's I think Justin, he played a little bit of basketball. So
Okay.
one thing, and I don't know if you play sports. You play sports back in the day?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
ball, I hoop, I play football, I do all that.
Yeah. So he got that prototypical basketball player energy.
Okay.
Just super cool, chill, ain't gonna step on nobody's toes. Kind of play a little bit like,
Hmm.
he's a gentleman. Yeah, he's just a cool dude. I can see he was a perfect person to bring as a wingman. Sometimes I question whether they prepped him just to be open to everything.
I thought they did, man. I thought
That's
they
what it feels
did.
like. Yeah, man, whatever. Because I feel like if no matter what a woman say, he gonna be like, you know what, y'all cool. You know.
Right.
So yeah, it's almost like
Yeah.
they prepped him, because I don't know if they had five guys like that they just chose from. It's like we're gonna pick whichever guy we feel like we need, and he was the perfect person to bring to replace, um, to replace the guy who
Yeah,
didn't show.
that. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, and my whole thing is, I was hoping that they would replace Laylan when she walked off, but they never replaced the woman. They just replaced the dude.
It would have
And
been nice.
now we're at a situation, man, where y'all had a double elimination,
Yeah,
okay, a couple weeks ago.
right.
Then they let Alexis go,
They made
and then they let another guy go. Who did they let go recently?
well. They're about to let somebody go.
Yeah, and they're about to let another guy go. So it's like that's four guys to one woman, and you still got like five women or five or six women left on the show. And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's interesting. This is I'm wondering why they decided to let another guy go, because then it's going to be what, only two or three
yeah.
or four
So
guys left.
in hindsight, they eliminated me at the perfect time. You know,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I was about an episode away. Because the only person I had available to me at that time was really that who I would really consider was only Vanessa. And so one thing that I didn't want to do is make it a contentious situation where now me and Chaz having to try to battle it out
Yeah.
or whatever. So like I didn't want to experience that. So like
But you could have took some pressure off of it. This brother looked like he got he
I
got
think
some he got 99 problems, but you know the
yeah,
rest,
yeah.
right? So you probably could he probably would have liked that you were on there, because you could have took
Nah,
some pressure off of.
he wouldn't have, I think he liked it exactly how it is right now. And like
For real.
yeah, for sure. So I think if I was there, he probably would have gave Vanessa more attention.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All
Yeah.
right, let's do the word association with Chaz.
Mm. Secure and insecure.
Mm,
Whatever
okay.
that is in the yeah, he's one of the most secure brothers. He's very secure brothers. So like with Chaz, Chaz is a dope dude, smooth player. But like one thing about him, he's one of those dudes that's very secure as long as he feels like he's in the lead. But
Mm,
once you start trailing him, he start throwing smoke bombs and nails and
mm,
or some banana peels. You know what I'm saying? So he's very secure, and he was very complimentary of me. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, yeah.
that's usually a sign of security.
Uh-huh.
I think I didn't know Chaz was in the room when I first met him. The first thing he said to me was like, "Man, that's a really nice shirt you got on." He's like, "Where'd you get it?" I was like, "Got it from such and such." Thank you, I appreciate it. And that's generally a sign of security. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but if you ever feel like if he feels threatened, then he'll start throwing smoke bombs, and like he done threw some slick some banana. He done throw all kind of stuff for me to slip up. Stuff that I wouldn't do to him. Like stuff
Right, right, right.
because I want to get what I'm supposed to get based upon my own merit, and I don't got to throw nobody under the bus to get what I want. And I feel like he's throwing me under the bus a little bit, but he helped me out too.
Yeah, yeah. If I'm keeping it hot, man, Chaz is probably the only dude I have a hard time understanding. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why is because, like you said, he can both be secure and insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I never understood why he threw Alexis under the bus. I don't know if it was because LaRon kind of coerced him into it, giving him the vote or something, because it looked like Alexis was his connection.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had Alexis come to meet his friends and stuff, and then he kind of, so a lot of the ways that he would move would kind of puzzle me a little bit. Like, why would he do that?
Yeah.
Like, even like you said, even he kind of threw some banana peels and nails behind his trail on you. And
Mm-hmm.
I I think he's a cool guy too. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to Chaz. you know, this ain't no character assassination or nothing. We bigging you up, but at the same time, some of the moves were just in question. That's all. And I would like for him to talk about it too, if he would like to do that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Um, yeah, and last but not least, Dominique.
Boom. Damn. I would say, how would I one word to describe myself? Um, I don't know. I kind of want to give myself the title of a healer. You know,
Healer. That's what's
yeah.
up.
And let me see. Did I get that? So one thing that I had the kumbaya energy. I tried to be neutral as possible
Hmm.
throughout the process, and I also, or I could say respectful. I moved. I gave way more respect than what I got back in some cases, and,
I can see that. I can
and
see that.
protective. And I don't feel like I was disrespected, but matter of fact, I'll say the words. I tried to protect everybody on this show. Uh,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I seen so much like sucker shit that was going on. Uh,
Right.
within this process, and I never wanted to kind of exploit that in the lounges. I never wanted to, if I wasn't willing to have a conversation with you about it, then I was just gonna let it go.
Right. Right.
But now I feel like I was very protective. I feel like I could have got a few people eliminated from stuff they was doing behind the scenes, but I'm just not the type. If we having a private conversation, I'm not gonna bring it to the lounge.
Right.
There
Right.
was
Right.
a lot of things that happened, and then on the other end, I didn't. Then people got a little cold towards me, So, but at the same time, I don't regret how I moved it out.
I can't understand why people would have be cold with you, brother. I really don't. You was the most stand up. I don't want to do that, but I'm just saying, like, you were a stand up dude. So at least that's what I've seen. So I don't understand why people would do that to you. Like I said before, there's some people on the show now. I don't understand how they still on there. I don't
Mm.
understand how some people are not on there. It just is what it is. But politics is usual. That's what
That's
I'm thinking. It's some politics going on, and ratings is ratings. So
Yeah, and
you know,
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand. All I can say is they didn't stop anything. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't stop me from connecting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this I ain't gonna take up too much of your time, but this is the last game. Oh, we good? Okay. This is the last one though. I did some potential matches, man.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I did is I tried to get everybody on the show matched up. At least the last 6 men and 6 women. Okay.
Mhm.
I tried to get them matched up. Now I didn't want to say, oh, they person is not on the show. I
Right.
wanted to match everybody. If I knew 20 or 16 people, these are the people I will match up. You tell me if I'm right off or not. Okay. Um, I did. I think I ended up matching Chaz with Leyland.
Ooh.
Do you think that match would have worked?
I know Lay Lynn is definitely Chaz's type, and I kind of like that match.
You like that?
She's a little she's early 40s. He's later 40s. They both got their stuff together. They're both good looking. I
Hmm.
like that match. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you and Vanessa.
Me and Vanessa, I like that match too.
You like that match?
Yeah,
That's what's up.
me and Vanessa, we have one thing that I big her up on, and to this day is that she cares about people, and
Mm.
that's big for me. And also and I feel like I do as well. And she's accountable, which is something that I generally don't associate that with women. She's accountable.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to Vanessa for that. Yeah, an accountable woman. Believe it or not, that's an attractive trait to
very
men. For a
yeah,
woman to be accountable,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Next one is I did match up Patrice with William,
Mm.
and tell me what you think about that. Am I off on that?
Now I think in reality, I think Williams should have invested. He should have the pursuit that he had towards Maya. He should have been on Patrice, and I think he pursued her, but I think he should have put more attention into Patrice.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
They
I think that, and they can like they can hustle together. They can rock out together. They both got kids, so they ain't really
right.
tripping off of kids. They could probably pop out one more, so they have a daughter. I know Will. I think he wants a daughter. He got all boys.
Yeah,
But
don't have
and
kids.
huh?
I think her kids are grown. She got grown children. They are like
Yeah, because she's the oldest woman there, right? She's got. Oh well, I think Laylan. I think she was older than Laylan even.
yeah, but all her kids are I think completely grown. So I think she's empty. You know,
Empty
yeah,
nester for real.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So I thought that I seen how they were at the fire pit, and he kind of let himself go a little bit
hmm
and kind of be vulnerable in front of Patrice, and she was there for him. She was rocking with him, and
I
I
respect.
thought that yeah, I thought that was that's a couple that should have pursued each other a little harder.
Yeah,
I did put LaRon with Maya.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Because I see how they moved, and I seen how uh, they seem to have the same lifestyle. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They kind of want the same things out of life. They
Right,
don't want life to be boring. They both in tech, and
right.
they all that stuff. So yeah, I put them two together.
She'd
Uh,
be he'd be perfect with her. It just like when he have his little moments to where he maybe lash out a little bit. I
yeah,
think that'll put some pressure. That'll be tough for her. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. That'll be tough for her. Um, I think that but she probably has a little bit of the patience. I don't know if she has a ton, but out of anybody else on the show, you know what I
Thanks.
mean. I thought that they would probably match up the most.
I agree.
Um, I did have uh, chocolate whale with Alexis. I think
Yeah.
they're kind of in the age range a little bit where they can understand each other.
hmm
Um, I think they did have a bit of a vibe. I think Alexis understand Will. I think Will rock heavy with Alexis. So yeah, what you
Yeah.
thought about that?
I think that's perfect too. I think they are more similar than what most people even know. Like they're both really, both hard working. Will just he's a big entrepreneur. He's doing his thing, and they're
Yeah,
very hard working. Like I feel like they could have built something together if they started out on the right foundation. And but yeah,
yeah,
that's a great mix.
yeah. I thought that was. Um, Now Justin, I did end up matching with Mika because uh, it seems as though he has the tools to open her up a little bit and kind
hmm
of get her to you know, be ready to love, so to speak.
Yeah,
I was gonna match him up with Rashina, but I seen he's so into Mika, man,
yeah,
that and she seems to be pretty cool, but the only thing I worry about is this whole kid situation. I don't think he's being honest with himself. I think he do want kids. He's
yeah.
just he's just kind of settling. And like you said, I think you said earlier that he will settle and things like that and
Mhm.
kind of be what the woman wants him to be, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
it's on TV for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I matched him up with Mika, but what are your thoughts about that?
Shit. From what I know, I think that's a good match. You know, yeah, I think that's a good match, especially somebody who's they both got good sense of humors. Both are
Mm,
attractive people. Yeah, yeah, I'm with that.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you think Rashina's match is on the show? What was on the show or no?
Nah,
No.
nah,
Okay.
I don't. I don't. But the funny thing about it, she's one of the dopest people on the show. As far as just she has an awesome spirit. But nah, I didn't think her match. I didn't think her match was here.
Was okay.
Yeah, me and Rashina connected some, but like And no, Rashida don't want kids either.
Yeah,
She don't want
yeah,
children either. But the difference between her and Mika is that Rashina was like, she said things like, "I don't see myself having, but if the right guy." She was like that from day one versus saying, "Hell no." You know,
yeah. She was open to it at least. It seemed like for the
exactly,
right guy.
for the right guy, and I believe that she would be. Another thing with Rashina, I think we had a conversation one time because me and her would talk on the phone a couple times. You know, be on the phone super late at night. You know what I'm saying? Just vibing
Hmm.
and whatnot. But she said one thing about she don't cook or something, and that was something I was like, you know. And for me, I'm like, I'm at a point now that where like I'm yeah, I would rather have somebody who don't mind cooking a little bit, you know, because I love to cook, and when
Yeah,
when me I like to cook. When I'm dating a woman who's not willing to cook at all, then I end up being I'm bringing plates and shit.
yeah. You the chef Boyardee at that point.
I'm fixing
Yeah.
plates now. I'm get you in there watching the game. I'm making the wings. You in there talking about touchdown. I'm like, who what happened?
You reevaluating your life at that
Yeah,
moment. So
I'm
yeah.
I'm sliding plates with an attitude and shit, you know. So no, I don't like that, you know. So like when a woman who's not willing to cook and help me with that particular burden at this point is nah, I can't do it.
Who you think is the best cook out of all the ladies though?
Ooh, you know what? Dang, that's a good question. It would I would I would probably go with Maya.
Maya is the best cook for real.
If
Okay.
I had to guess, yeah, because I mean, Maya from Mississippi, like so, Maya's from Mississippi. I think she's from Hattiesburg. Alexis is from Mississippi, and ironically, the women from Mississippi had the most motion on the show, as far as interest.
Interesting.
They were the two most liked women on the show. Alexis was the most popular woman amongst the men by far, even though
Really?
yeah,
So
most guys.
why does she go home?
It was
I'm asking for things to make sense. I know they ain't gonna make sense, but
I can make sense of it, So like
okay.
the thing about this show is that once your once your connection start going home, then you about to go home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say, for instance, if Alexis was still on the show and I had Vanessa on the show, then I would have still been on the show because that's two people batting for me. But when
Got
I
you.
start sending, if I've dwindled myself down to two or three people, then two of those three people gone, then you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have somebody who's going to put you in their top who's left. And like Vanessa, I mean not Vanessa, but Alexis had 3 straight weeks of connections getting put off the show.
Mm-hmm.
Will gone, then you got Jonathan gone, and you get to a point to where like, you ain't got nobody left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And a part of me thought that your women were gone. That's that. So that's why you say you left at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of the women that would have probably connected with you for the most part was gone. I think that Vanessa kind of made up her mind already on what she was going to do. So I think that the other women that you would have connected with were probably gone at that point. So
Yeah, because I didn't have anything left. As beautiful as the other four ladies were, I hadn't really invested any energy or time into them. So if I really
yeah,
been paying attention and counting like what's going on and strategizing, I would have saw that. So I wouldn't have been that surprised when I got eliminated. But
yeah,
yeah, I wrote all the five women that were left down on paper the other day. And I was like, damn, I only really have Vanessa left, and Vanessa had chose the other brother.
yeah, Chaz, yeah, yeah. So yeah, well, it's an interesting season so far, man. You did a really great job of explaining some of the things. Is there anything that you want to say that we might have missed, or anything else you want to get off your chest, or any inside information you can talk to us about?
Um, no, not unless you got any specific questions. I think we covered a lot. How do you think? Which I haven't seen other seasons.
Hmm.
With the exception of the first season in Dallas. Um, how is this one in comparison to the rest of the season? Because I don't know what to compare it to.
It's pretty par for the course, to be honest. A lot of the other seasons went the same way. Some
Mhm.
people went home sooner than we expected. Some people didn't. They don't show enough in the episodes, so we don't. Some things don't make sense. Like
Yeah.
we'll see connections that, like, when did this happen? You know what I
Right.
mean? We don't. There's a lot of connections that's going on the phone
Right.
too that we don't really get to see. So by the time it hits the camera, we like, where this come from? You know what
Right.
I mean? So I would say it's pretty par for the course. I will say I'm enjoying Fort Worth more than I did Dallas, to be honest.
Okay.
I think y'all season is better than last season.
Yeah.
I think last season was I don't know what was going on there.
I think about that sometimes, and if I was on that season, I would have been eliminated so quick because, now the women who I thought Lee was attractive.
Oh yeah,
Lee was
oh yeah,
attractive, and surprisingly, one of the women who I got to meet in real life, who I like, I like Jessica.
Jessica.
I met her in real life. She came to one of my events, and I introduced myself because she didn't know me. She didn't know it was my event, nor did she know I was going to be on the show. So I told her I was going
Oh,
to be on the show, and me and her are into the same type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So this far, just like
really?
she's well traveled. She loved coffee, and she's very pro black. You know what I'm saying? She's one of those women. Like as soon as I started talking to her, she started like trying to help me
Oh
with something.
yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
She has a brilliant businessman mind.
Right.
Shout out to Jessica for that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Have you met Kat?
I met Kat one time.
Really?
Yeah,
How is she?
she seemed cool. She
Yeah.
seemed cool. I met her while the Dallas season was still showing, so I met her, and her and Chris was out together one night. So I've met probably half of the guys, and met Chris. Chris is cool as hell. You know,
Oh,
and
okay. Which one? Christopher or Chris or short Chris?
I met
It's a light skinned Chris and there's a darker skinned.
dark skinned Chris.
Oh,
Surprisingly,
okay.
he's not really even short. He's damn near 6 foot. He's about 5'11".
For real? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know why I thought he was shorter than that.
man, like when you're not over 6'2" and you got you muscles, you gonna look,
Small on it. Yeah. How
you
tall
like
are you, by the way?
5'10".
You
So
5'10"? Okay.
yeah, so like like running backs, some of the running backs be 5, 6 foot, but the more wider you are and you ain't tall, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know some. I thought I heard somebody say that you were short. I don't know who said
Me, it
that.
was me, and she did that, and I'm like, man, now, I'm like, damn, you ain't had to put me out there like that. She was being transparent because what I think she was saying is I'm shorter than what she preferred because she wanted to date 6'3", 6'4", but by
Justin ain't that, is he?
Justin shorter than me. Justin probably 5'9". But you know, even with her saying that, this was after like we had already kind of fizzled out.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it was
Yeah.
just. But she said what she said, but I would have never said that about her though.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you met up with the Dallas crew too for the most part, huh? That's
Yeah, I
dope.
remember myself. I met Herbert. Herbert was the same person he was on television. Real cool name,
Yeah,
respect.
yeah. I bet he was. Quentin too.
I met Quentin. Quentin was I met him in passing.
Okay.
He was a little short with me, but he wasn't. He was cool though.
Oh, okay.
He was just like, yeah. I told him, he like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but
Ki-
he was straight.
Kira.
Never met her
Never
before.
met her. Kira.
Never met her. Because everybody.
Sierra.
Sierra, never met her. Never met Aries. Never met Janelle. I did see Lee from a distance one time, but I was like, I seen her from a distance. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I don't want you to tell us anything about the reunion, but is there anything? Is there going to be any surprises or?
There's gonna be some surprises, man. The reunion to me, man, is if I had one word to describe it, for me, just being a person who's trying to, play my part in repairing the black community on a small scale. The reunion was hurtful. It was hurtful, hurtful,
Really?
hurtful to experience. I hated the reunion.
Really?
It was bad.
Wow.
I don't know how much of it they're gonna show, but it was man, I was like, man, I was surprised our season made it to TV after the reunion. It was devilish in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah, it was devilish.
So that's interesting, man. You just didn't like the way we showed up on camera, or for black people, or what was it?
I felt like people walked into their room on guard,
Hmm.
like, and they probably been on guard for months. Like
They
so,
just been holding stuff, huh?
hold stuff for 5 months, and time could do two different things. Time could, people say time heals all wounds, and it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, time can make things worse. You know what I'm saying? So like
You can fester in it and sit in it a little bit.
we went about 4 months between when we finished shooting and having the reunion, and yeah, man, people just sitting around festering and preparing. Like, if this person say this to me, I'm gonna say this. And so
Right, right.
you got a mixture of that type of energy, and it's I feel like yeah, I was like, man, I'm not proud to be a part of this at this point. Yeah,
Dang, my brother.
yeah,
All right. Well, I ain't gonna hold you, my man. I really appreciate your time.
for sure, for sure.
And like I said, anybody else want to come on and talk to me? I would love to talk to anybody that was on the cast.
Yeah,
And I think that, like I said, I'm enjoying the season. I hope this reunion ain't gonna be ratchet, okay? But it's gonna be. It is what it is, right? So
am I your first interview from the?
yeah.
Yeah.
You my first one.
Good
Yeah.
job,
So
brother. Good job.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You too, man. And yeah, you can reach out to the rest of them, see if they're interested. I'd love to talk to them,
Yeah,
and we can keep the conversation going.
yeah.
Any other last questions for me, or?
Nah, man. So I'll see how this people respond to this one, but I'll definitely if I definitely can plug you in with pretty much anybody on the show for the most part. I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. I appreciate that.
sure.
You've been a stand up dude.
I
I've been
appreciate
having your back the whole season, man. I see how you move, and I recognize that. And shout out to you, man.
it. And I
Thanks a
appreciate
lot
it,
for
brother.
joining
Likewise.
me. Yeah,
Likewise.
yeah, for
Well,
real. And you welcome
congratulations.
back
Sure.
anytime. It don't even have to be about RTL. We can chop it
Yeah.
up about life, anything. You know
I'm
what I
with that.
mean?
I'm with that.
Yeah. So best to you, my brother, and hopefully I'll be talking to you soon.
That's great, brother. I appreciate you.
All right. Have a good one now, Don.
You too.
All right.
All right.
Later. And that was my interview from Dom. Shout out to Dom. Dopest dude you wanna ever meet. Okay. That's how we do it here at BMR. Um Again, invitation goes out to anybody that was on the show or even last season, whatever, in Dallas. I love to talk to anybody on RTL for real. Let's get some understanding. Let's chop it up and go from there. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, share, and subscribe for this dope interview, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. So
Am I your first interview from the?
yeah.
Yeah.
You my first one.
Good
Yeah.
job,
So
brother. Good job.
I appreciate it.